Okay, so my neighbor was kind enough to give me this generator. It's a 15 horsepower Briggs and Stratton generator, an Elite, and it's 8,000 watts running, 1350 starting. So, as is normally the case with these things, does not start. Check the gas tank. The gas tank had gas that was probably, I don't know, a couple of years old. Smelled pretty bad. Drain the gas out, put some fresh gas in, tried starting it, no go. So what you'll typically see with these is a problem with the carburetor, especially if there's old gas in there. So the next thing we'll try with this generator before we spend any money on it is to take that carburetor apart, clean it out real good. I'm sure it's going to be quite nasty. This is worth spending some time on because this particular model has a Vanguard engine, and these engines are comparable to the Hondas and the Kawasaki's. They're very high quality, they're commercial grade units, so it's worth spending some time on this one to see if we can get it going. So I'm gonna stop the video and we'll pick it up with the carburetor out of the unit. So the first step to getting the carburetor off is to take this air cleaner off here. And every model is a little bit different. This is just how this one's set up. Just gonna take these screws off with a screwdriver. I'm predicting the carburetor is going to be quite nasty. What do you think, Les? You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to teach the next generation, right? There's the air filter. Ooh, it smells lovely in here. All right, so now it looks like we got to take out that nut off, and there's one back there that you can barely see. So let's get some tools. That looks like maybe a 10 millimeter. So we'll go back here. We'll grab a 10 millimeter deep drive. See how that fits. Beautiful. Let's get a socket. I'm sorry, a ratchet. And let's keep on going. You want to film this? Oh no, actually I'll do it. That'll be okay. Hang on. You want to do it? All right, future videographers of America here. All right, you got it? Just be very careful, okay? If I was in a rush or a time crunch, I'd use an impact gun on this, but...
Do you want me to show your head?
It's a,
Do you want me to show your
You
head?
can take a picture of my head if you want. There's not much to see. Hi. Not in a big rush here, so just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Take this bracket off. There's a breather assembly on the back, breather hose on the back here that has to be fed through. Wow, this smells horrible. Take a picture down here, Liz.
I am.
Save that gasket if we can.
It turned off.
It's okay. It's still running. Okay, so now we got a plate that has to come off. Let's take a look around the side. What is holding that plate on?
Wait, is the camera still on videoing?
Yep, it's still videoing. Oh, this is a particularly fun unit to work on, looks like. The whole bracket has to come off.
Yep.
I think we'll pause the video while we get that bracket off because it's not going to be a whole lot of fun. This is the bracket I'm speaking about right here. It's got a bolt up there and a bolt back there. Not very easy to get to, so we'll resume once we get that off. Okay, so we battled for a bit and we got this bracket out. There was actually 3 bolts. One was hidden. There's one here, here, and here. And now the carburetor is exposed. So I'm going to take off this fuel line right here, this throttle linkage here, I'm sorry, back here, and then we'll get this thing apart and we'll get it in the ultrasonic cleaner. Okay, so we got the carburetor off. Not too much to it. Got the ultrasonic cleaner going right here. Got the heater on and everything, so that should be. All right, so we're gonna take off that nut on the bottom. That'll release the float, and then we can see what things look like inside. It's probably gonna be an awful crusty mess. So we got the float bowl off. There was some pretty nasty stuff in there. So I'm just gonna start tossing stuff in the ultrasonic cleaner one by one. Next, I'm gonna take this float out and take the that float valve out as well to clean in that orifice. That doesn't want to cooperate, so I'm just gonna leave it. It seems to be moving pretty freely. And again, once we get in the ultrasonic cleaner, I think things will clear right up. So next I'm going to take that main jet assembly out with a screwdriver. There's this little inlet on the side that has to come out too. So there's the main jet right there. It just unscrews with a flat blade screwdriver. And those tubes aren't too bad, but they could be, I'm sorry, those holes in that tube aren't too bad, but they could be a bit better. So I'm going to venture a guess if we toss this thing in the ultrasonic cleaner as is and just let it run for about 20 minutes, that'll probably clear up all the problems we have. So I'm going to throw that in. Looks like we need to add some more fluid actually. One thing I've noticed, if you need parts for these carburetors, they're really only made by a couple of manufacturers. And if you cross over the original manufacturer, in this case Mikuni, you can often get parts cheaper than if you were to, say, buy them from Briggs and Stratton. So, just food for thought. So I'm going to turn the ultrasonic cleaner on for about 20 minutes. And you can see already, pretty nasty. Years of crap are just kind of coming off. So we'll let that run and we'll pick it up. Okay, so everything's out of the ultrasonic cleaner. Nice and spick and span and shiny. Probably difficult to tell from the picture, but it's significantly cleaner than what it was. In particular, the bowl looks brand new. That tube right there is completely clear, as is this little doodad. Couldn't see light through it before. So I'm going to put it back together and that'll probably fix the problem. Alright, so I got everything back together. And now we'll give it a shot. Hopefully it runs.
What?
I'm filming, silly. Give it a shot.
Where's my food?
Hang on. So that is how you fix a generator with a clogged carburetor. Hope you enjoyed the video.